What's up, everybody? This is Zips from Total Gaming Network and CS Nation, and here we are with the first look at Killing Floor 2 from Tripwire Interactive. Now, I am part of the Friends and Family beta that is currently ongoing. I know that the press had a little event, so you're going to probably start seeing this video along with a bunch of other press videos that are coming out. And this video is just going to be some gameplay. There's not going to be any audio because when I was recording in TeamSpeak with one of the developers. You can see there, Tripwire Yoshiro. And there was some talk amongst all of us that were playing about, potential bugs or issues or whatever. And since things are still under an NDA, I didn't want to risk there being a little issue. But this should give you a general overview of just some of the things that you'll see in the game. Obviously, one of our buddies, Zal, there, has played this extensively. He was a level 22 commando. He also has a level 80 or level 8 support. I typically play as medic. You can see this here. I am a level 4 field medic. And during the course of my play session, I actually rank up to level 5. And you can see some of the different skills that you get at levels 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. 25 obviously being the level cap right now. I don't know if they're going to raise that. They might. I don't know what their plans are for future content. Maybe DLC. Who knows? It's way too early to be talking about that right now, though. I'm just going to be going, kind of off the cuff here. And just kind of talking about the game as things happen in the game. There is a squad system, as you just saw, rather, because it's loading now, where you can invite your friends to a lobby, and then from there you can all join a server together. You might have also seen Yoshiro drop out because he actually had a more updated build of the game that we, the friends and family testers, did not yet have. So he actually had a revert. I don't know what's included in that. I don't know when that's going to be made public, or if that'll even be made public at all during this beta phase. And I know a lot of people are probably going to ask, so when is this going to be made publicly available so that people who want to play this can play an early access release? I do not know the answer to that. That is way out of my jurisdiction. I'm just playing this game and I'm reporting on it. So you're gonna have to just wait and see what Tripwire has to say about that. And here we are, we're on the map Burning Paris. It actually already loaded. We are in the map right now, even on this screen. And you can see we're gonna play on survival game type. It's the only one in the game right now, on the suicidal difficulty. So here we are, just in the action, just straight to it, shooting some clots in the head. Get different weapons. As a medic, my primary weapon start, you can see it right there. I'm reloading it. It's a pretty decent pistol, I would say. And one of the cool things about it as a medic is right mouse button gives you the aim down sights, which, as expected. Left mouse button shoots, so you can kill things, obviously. But if you lock onto somebody, say somebody is a little injured, you'll hear an audible beep. And if you're looking down the sights, or even if you're not looking down the sights, it will still lock on. And you can click in middle mouse button, and it'll shoot a healing dart at them. And if you're locked onto them, it automatically tracks to them to a certain degree. It's a little finicky at times. And again, this is still a beta. So hopefully some of that stuff gets ironed out. Like, I will be sometimes locked onto somebody, and then it will just shoot over their head a little bit. But it also doesn't really work well if the person is moving at a rapid pace or if they're a little bit further away. But that's not really that's not an issue. That's an actual, just because it can't track to that wide of a degree. But for a starting gun, I really like it. Obviously, other classes are going to have different starting weapons and other specializations. I'm going to take individual video looks, by the way, of each class, which might actually be out around the same time that this video goes out. I hope to have this up on Wednesday. So I'm actually going to go dive into the menus and show you what the different classes are and the different perks that they get and everything with that. The only drawback, you can see right now, there was a little lock-on indicator. It's that ring around the center. There you go, see? And you just click in middle mouse and shoots a little tranquilizer dart. And the healing dart has a recharge time, which you can see indicated on the iron sights itself. It is that blue bar, and you typically get 2, sometimes 3 shots, depending on how fast you fire them, before it needs to start recharging. It's an automatic recharge. You never run out of the healing darts. It is just, something you gotta wait for them to recharge over time. And here we are at the buy menu. We're at the trader. It is the kind lady from the previous game is no more if you played the last DLC for Killing Floor 1, which I did not actually. And instead replaced with this thing, these little systems in each area. And we didn't really get a good look of everything there. I do go back, obviously, after this round to buy more when I have more money, more dosh, if you will. So I'm just kind of running around. I got armor. And one of the perks of being a medic is that when you get armor, the more you level up, the more armor you get each time you buy it. So right now I have 112 armor instead of the base 100 armor. Other classes, obviously, they're going to get more health or they're going to get stronger. If you've played Killing Floor 1, you probably have a pretty good idea about how some of those perks work and everything. And like I said, I'm going to go through class by class, maybe on a per video basis. Oh yeah, here's the Z time, spinning around, doing a little 360 action. Not the smoothest thing there, seeing somebody else do it, but it kind of looks cool. So yeah, there's still weapons laying around on the ground. Like I picked up a varmint rifle. It's I believe a 3-shot burst by default, but you can adjust fire rate on many of the guns. I typically don't mess around with that too much. Like even in Battlefield or something, I really never really adjusted it to do like a single shot burst all that often, though I probably should have. You can see the crawlers coming out of like the sewer there. You saw the I just call him the flame guy or whatever. The pyro guy. He was crawling over some things there, and you can see I just threw down a grenade. There's that blue mist, which is now bright white due to Z time. Being all actiony here. The grenades for the medic class actually have a dual function, which I think is pretty awesome. You can kind of see it there, but what it does is if you throw it into a group of your teammates, it will act as a healing cloud. On the other hand, if you throw it into a group of the infected, it kind of poisons them and it burns them. So say shit's starting to hit the fan. Here's the varmint rifle in action, by the way. The varmint rifle seems a little inappropriately named because I don't think it's shotgun from Yosh there. When I think of a varmint rifle, this isn't really what I think of. But then again, I really don't know guns all that well, so yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not my favorite gun. It's a good starting weapon, and obviously you can just sell it at the end of the round to get what you really want. Here I am picking up an ammo that's just laying on the ground here. Hopefully the frame rate's looking all right here. I did record at 60 FPS. I don't know if my game was able to maintain 60 FPS. I actually think there was going to be some tearing here and there, simply because the game is fairly demanding. I do have a lot of the settings cranked up, except for reflections. I do not have reflections enabled. I also don't have depth of field enabled, I don't believe. And there's a couple other things I turn off just because I don't like depth of field. I don't like motion blurs. All that I did disable. It's just my personal preference. Real-time reflections is a huge resource-intensive process. I will say that right now. When I wasn't recording and I was playing actually at 1080p, turning reflections on did have a bit of a performance impact on my GTX 770 4GB version. It does look quite nice, but it's going to be, a pretty personal thing on whether or not you want to have those enabled or not. Especially, it's really apparent when, blood starts getting splattered everywhere in a level and the blood reflects everything on the ground. It's kind of nuts to see in action. Like I said, it didn't have too much of a performance impact. At least nothing that I really noticed. But for those with who's more who wants a higher frame rate all the time, I should say, you're gonna want to keep those disabled. As pretty as they look, just keep them disabled, and you'll be fine. You can see the levels are actually got some really nice lighting going on here. I really like the lighting in most of these levels. It is running on Unreal Engine 3, so they did a lot of crazy stuff with this. I did not notice any weird, the Unreal Engine 3 typical thing of, textures loading in slowly or whatever. Again, it might depend on your hardware. I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that Tripwire probably also bypassed a lot of those issues by having you load into the level first and get your character set up. Because like I said, you're actually in the level at that point in the beginning of the round. Here we are back at the trailer. I'm going to show you a little bit more of this. On the left-hand side is what you can buy. On the right-hand side is stuff like refilling ammo, getting your combat armor, selling things. If you want to sell something, all you got to do is click on it and then click on the middle button right below your dash amount there, and you can click on sell. Some things you cannot sell, and that is typically the stuff that you start with in a round. This includes, like, for me, it would be the medic pistol. You cannot get rid of... Oh, actually, I think it's the medic pistol you can get rid of. It's the other pistol you can't get rid of. So, like, just for every class, the pistol you can't get rid of, and your default melee you cannot get rid of. It's not a big deal because they don't have a weight to them, which is pretty nice. Everything that you buy or pick up does have a weight to them, and there is still a weight system. I never really found it to be much of an issue because I can actually go, like... Right now I have an SMG... No, I have the shotgun. The medic shotgun. And it functions much the same way as the pistol for the medic. Right click, aim down sight, left click, shoot, middle click, it will have a lock on, and I can shoot a healing dart at somebody. It's not as powerful as, say, like some of the non-medic shotguns, but as you can see, it does a pretty good job at removing heads in a pinch. It does pack quite a bit of a punch, and you can shoot it quite rapidly if you so desire. Especially useful when the flesh pounds come up and it's just everything starts going to hell. So obviously you can see the Z time being kicked in every so often here. It slows down time, and you can actually see your bullets travel. There's a little bit of a tracer effect on them when in Z time. Actually, you can kind of see them when you're not in Z time too, but it's just a little bit harder to do so. Yeah, like there was like just a little flash there as I popped his head off. Oh, you just briefly saw a witch down there. That is the new effect for the witch. She her scream still takes out grenades, still can destroy lights, and that's another thing in these maps. You can actually destroy lights, and you can make areas darker. Really, that just acts as a detriment to you and your team. Say if you're in the subway system on this map, which we don't go into on this recording. We went down into it on a previous play session, but not in this recording. Down there, if you take out some lights, you're gonna have a bad time. It's gonna be super dark. It's gonna be really hard to see anything, and you're gonna have to rely heavily on your flashlight all the time. And the flashlight has a there's the witch again. Oh boy, screaming. The flashlight does need to recharge the battery for it. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the HUD, you see I have 4 grenades, I have 36 rounds for my shotgun, and you can actually see the recharge on the medic darts as well. It's up to 100% right now, and I have 223 dosh. But that little 9-volt there is for the flashlight. So it's not unlimited use. It does last a pretty good long while, though, which I do appreciate. And just looking at other elements of the HUD while we're on it, you can see that there is a little bit of a GPS type thing, compass, if you will, towards the next trader location in the top left-hand corner. Right now, we're about 100 meters away from it, and the up arrow, the up triangle on that indicates that the trader is above your current position, so she's a higher elevation than where you are right now. And I believe right about now is when I start heading towards her. So you can kind of, start heading towards your next trader as the round starts to come down to a close. You don't have to, but you do have a limited time between each rounds to actually buy something, so you might want to do that. And you can see right now we are on wave 3 of 7 in the top left-hand corner. with 35, 34 enemies remaining right now, which giving me a little bit of a hard time. I took her out, though. I'm kind of a big deal. Don't worry about it. You do have the ability to heal yourself again. Every class has the ability. You do not need to rely on the medic if you do not need to. And it's just a simple button press with Q. Your self-healing is in the bottom left-hand corner to the left of your armor and your health. You can see a little red icon there. It looks like a syringe with a little cross on it. And to the left of that, you see a little, medic-type indicator with a 4. That means I am a medic, level 4. And right above that, you'll see an XP bar. You do get more experience based on the difficulty you choose to play on each map. And like I said, I think we're on Suicidal right now, so we're getting a decent amount of experience. I would have actually preferred if we played on a little bit of easier difficulty, just because you might see in a little bit, things kind of get a little crazy. But yeah, things really start kicking off a bit in the later rounds, as you would expect. So here I am. I'm just deciding what I want to do with my limited resources here. I was debating whether or not do I want to sell the shotgun so I can get the assault rifle, but then I'm like, oh, well, I'm probably not going to get enough money anyways to get all the ammo, and so I stick with the shotgun here. The medic class does have an SMG as well, which you might have seen in the buy menu. That it's okay. It feels more like a nail gun type thing. It even sounds like a nail gun, but they're calling it an SMG. As for game sounds, and I know it's kind of weird to talk about that without actually having any game audio right now. They're okay. I feel like the medic guns, they do, like, one of the jokes is something like it looks like a toy but kicks like a mule or something like that. I think they're referencing the medic guns whenever one of the characters says that in the game. But I don't know. It feels like that the medic guns could use a little bit more of a punch. Not necessarily in terms of the damage output, but just in terms of what they sound like. And like I said, the SMG and even the assault rifle for the medic. Oh, there was a new mechanic there. The little guys can actually grab onto you, which causes a little bit of a problem. Oh, well, there was a chainsaw guy. It causes a little bit of a problem when you're trying to like escape or something. They will latch onto you, and you can either shoot them in the face, as I did, or you can quickly melee them. Melee is pretty effective. There is a quick key for that. I actually have mine rebound to one of my mouse buttons, the side mouse buttons, because it's easier for me. But you do have a quick melee button, which will let you hit an enemy with the butt of whatever gun you're using, or you just kind of take a swing at them. And then there are also dedicated melee weapons, which you can actively select instead of a rifle or a gun. And they do a little bit more damage than just the regular old melee. Like, the medic has a scalpel, so you can slice and dice. It's pretty cool. Or there's like a multi-tool type of deal, which is like a packs. It's kind of like packs. Like, you got a shovel, you got a crowbar. I don't know. There's like a couple other tools on there, and it's pretty powerful. I believe the katana might still be in here. I'm really trying to remember if I used it or if I saw it yet. Or somebody might have said that they picked one up, but I can't really recall. Again, though, there are quite a few weapons that aren't actually in the game yet. There are actually some classes that aren't in the game yet, but I'm not going to dive too deeply into those, because like I said, I'm not sure what is supposed to be talked about yet and what isn't. So we'll just let Tripwire deal with that whole side of things. And here I am dealing with a very bloody bloat. One of the things that I didn't mention yet, too, is that there are some, I don't want to say special infected, because that seems like I'm talking about a different game, but some of the normal infected have slight variations on their typical behaviors. Like, the little guys, the clots, they will sometimes go a little berserk mode, and they'll start running at you, like all wild-like. And so there's slow shamble that you're probably used to. The, see, I'm just going to call him the pyro guy again, the flame guy. He has a suicide ability, which he will actually self-detonate himself when next to one of your teammates or yourself, which I think is pretty cool. So far, thankfully, I'm going to knock on wood here, he hasn't actually killed any of us with that ability yet. Mainly because, like, it's kind of an easy tell, but, like, in the heat of another battle, it might not be as easy to pick up on. So he could take you out then. It'll be very interesting when that happens. When you are hit with fire or flames and you do get damage from them, your character model actually does char up a little bit. I don't know if you'll see that on any of the my teammates when that happens, but it's it's a nice crispy effect. Even if your character or the character doesn't die, it's still a pretty cool effect when that happens. You can see all this blood around here. Like I said, I have reflections off right now, but if I had them on, it would be reflecting quite a bit of the level. And again, back from Killing Floor 1, I haven't talked about this one yet. You do have the little, line that directs you to the next trader area, which is always helpful. Because sometimes, people do need a little bit more direction. And here I am. I'm going to pick up the assault rifle right now. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, there we go. So now I have, a full everything. I've got armor, I've got grenades, shotgun, pistol, and assault rifle. I did not pick up the SMG, mainly because the assault rifle, I feel, kind of, takes over that role once you get that. And obviously there is the autofill still. So if you just want to one click to fill up your armor and your grenades and your existing ammo, you can. It's no problem. One thing I do have a little bit of a problem with here is the fact that the medic guns, they all look very, very similar to one another outside of the pistol. And it's just it's so hard sometimes to figure out which gun I'm using because the models are so similar. The only way I can really tell half the time is if I, scroll to it and I look, or if I look at the ammo indicator, because the shotgun can only hold 10 rounds at a time, and the assault rifle can hold 30. So that's an easy way to tell. You can see either on the bottom right that I'm right now using the assault rifle because there was 20 left in the clip, or magazine. Sorry, I'm probably just pissed off a lot of Red Orchestra and Killing Floor fans and fans of weapons in general. I'm not a weapons person. I'm sorry. I'm not a gun person. Oh, you can see a little bit of a chart right there on the person that was right in front of me to the left now. I guess they got hit with a bit of a flame, or they got walked into fire or something. So right about now in wave 5 is when things kind of start to get really hectic, and I'm really trying my best to heal. Zal was just taken out immediately there by the enrage. I get grabbed again. I'm meleeing. I'm getting grabbed again. I threw a grenade down to poison and burn them. I'm trying to get over to my buddies, and I get thrown up on by the bloat, and I'm dead. So this is what happens when you die. You go into a spectator mode so you can see everything happening around you. There is a free roam mode, which I'm in right now. You're still kind of bound by the the level geometry when you're in free roam, but you can raise up above it and you can get a nice bird's eye view of the action going on. And I'm gonna spoiler this for you because I'm gonna actually cut this video around now. We do not win this. Excuse me. Well, yeah, we do not win this round. I'm just kind of flying through the level just a little bit just to see what I can get to and what I cannot get to. Yeah, I really like the looks of this, and it doesn't really show well in a 720p video, but 720p is the compromise I made to make sure that the frame rate was at least decent for this recording. It may not be the full 60 at all times, but you get a pretty good idea of what the action is. Kiting is kind of still in this game. Like you can see these two here, they're just backing up, and I decided to fly over to the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower is an actual thing in the game. They didn't block it off so the spectators could not go over there yet. So I'm actually going to call this one right here. I will be back with more videos if those videos are not out already by the time you watch this. So until then, this has been Zips for Total Gaming Network and CS Nation. You've been taking a quick look at Killing Floor 2 in the closed friends and family alpha or beta. It's a closed thing right now. You're going to be seeing a lot of press about this pretty soon, I'm sure. I don't know, again, when it's going to be going to public, so don't ask me. I don't know. But I hope to make some more videos for you soon. I'll show off some other maps. I'll show off the classes. And until then, I will catch you next time.